Hello there. My name's David Levershutz. I'm the head of science and the head of chemistry at Davenant Foundation School. And if you're watching this video, it means you are thinking of studying A-level chemistry at Davenant, which is great for me and makes me very enthusiastic and encouraged because I love the subject of chemistry. I've been teaching it for over 30 years, and I'm as enthusiastic about it now as I was when I first started teaching it. And I'd be very happy to, me and my team of chemistry teachers, are very happy to take you on your journey of continuing to study chemistry at a higher level, if that's a choice you want to make. The reason I'm so positive about chemistry is because it attempts to study what I think is one of the most interesting and fundamental questions, which is, what is the world made of? Your ability to answer that question, what is the world made of, gives you a power as a chemist to do some absolutely remarkable things. Chemists have designed batteries that are going into the latest electric cars that will eventually replace petrol-driven cars and all their harmful greenhouse gas emissions. Chemists are now designing plastics that are completely biodegradable and therefore won't affect the environment so much. Chemists are designing life-saving drugs and vaccines, very relevant over the last couple of years, that will save so many lives. And chemists' ability to do these remarkable things comes from their ability to understand what the world is made of. On the right-hand side of the slide you're looking at is a list of the topics we study in A-level chemistry. It's a long list, and I don't want you to worry about the length of the list. I just want you to have a look at the list to see words that you recognise from GCSE. And the reason why I think that's very important is because I want you to see that and understand that everything we do at A-level chemistry builds on everything you have done at GCSE. It will feel very much like the same subject as you studied at GCSE, although of course we go into things in more detail and there's a far wider breadth and scope to what we do. It's really helpful to think of chemistry in terms of this triangle. What we're about as chemists is explaining macroscopic properties we can see and measure and observe and sometimes smell that are going on in our laboratories, in our practical work in front of us. We explain those macroscopic properties in terms of submicroscopic particles. Now, don't be intimidated by the phrase submicroscopic particles, because the submicroscopic particles we are talking about are exactly the same ones you studied at GCSE. Atoms, ions, molecules, protons, neutrons, electrons. It's those particles and our understanding of those particles and how they behave and how they interact with each other. That's what gives us the tools to explain the macroscopic properties that we're observing in our practical work. The third leg of the triangle is symbolic. The changes we see, we've got to be able to represent in terms of symbols, which means balanced equations, in a form that is common to chemists all over the world. And that's why it's the symbolic nature, representing change through symbols, is so important. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's something I've talked about already, which is what we do at A-level builds directly on what we do at GCSE, what you do at GCSE. Don't be intimidated by the thought if you only did combined science GCSEs and you're worried that you're going to be surrounded in your chemistry lessons by a whole load of people who studied separate science. That means chemistry as a single GCSE by itself. There will be a mixture of combined scientists and separate scientists in every class in Year 12, but we assume as your teachers combined science knowledge. We don't start with the knowledge of build from the knowledge of separate scientists, we build from the knowledge of combined scientists. So whatever gap there is for combined scientists at the start of the course, that gap will quickly close while the course continues. There are 4 ideas we want you to particularly remember from the GCSE course, and because they are the 4 ideas we sort of assume that you will know when you start the A-level. And I want to say a little word about those now. They're listed on this PowerPoint slide. How to calculate the molar mass of a compound. If you're not familiar with the phrase molar mass, then you will have been taught at GCSE how to calculate either the relative molecular mass or the relative formula mass of a compound. How to write correct chemical formulae. How to name compounds from their formulae. The big and most important one, how to balance chemical equations. We really do need you to be able to do that when you start the course, and we do assume that you can balance chemical equations, and the reactions of acids with metals, metal oxides, hydroxides, and carbonates. Now, we want you to recap all those ideas before you start the course. Over the long summer, there's a real danger that you will have forgotten how to do many of those ideas. We want you to recap those ideas and all the other most important concepts from GCSE, which is what the summer task is about. The summer task, which is available on the Davenant website, looks like this. That's 1 page from it. It's very explicit what it is. It's GCSE revision. All the pages of the summer task are in this format of GCSE revision, and it's a series of questions and tables to fill in and complete, which test you on your GCSE knowledge and make you try and remember your GCSE knowledge. We want you to attempt every page. If you don't know, try and look up the answers, look back in your notes from GCSE, look back at your GCSE textbooks, Google, try to research the answers, make your best effort at every attempt at every page, and then find the answers, which are also on the Davenant website. This is the question page, there's the answer page, and once you've made a genuine attempt at every page, find the answers and have a look at those answers and compare them to what you wrote, and tick everything you got right and correct anything you got wrong. We'd ask you to bring your completed booklet of questions which you have attempted to mark into Davenant for your first lesson. By doing that, we think you'll have recapped and revised all the key concepts in GCSE chemistry, which will be the best possible start to the A-level. I hope you found this talk useful. I hope it's clarified your mind about what the course is about and what it involves. I really look forward to meeting you in September. Thank you very much for your attention, and goodbye.